Good afternoon, everybody. This is Dee Reinhardt with Illinois WorkNet, and today we are going to be talking about a couple of things. I'm not going to show any actual agency numbers or names, so I think we're good with recording the entire webinar. A couple of things that we want to talk about today is as of today, we're not going to worry so much about what you have done with your career plan, although we do need to fix it if it's an issue for your agency. But moving forward, as of today, when you enter somebody into worksite placement, you need to do it from a career plan step. Does everybody know how to do that? Don't everybody speak at once.
This is Eric Rebner. For those, I think we addressed this or asked about this about 4 weeks ago, and I haven't heard a response back on this. If there were ones that we had previously entered into the worksite placement tab, is there a way that we could add them through the career plan step without double counting the placement, so to speak?
And that's one of the things that I'm going to talk about next. So thank you for that segue. On the Worksite Dashboard, I know that this was an issue with one of the agencies that I was working with yesterday. That agency is seeing on this dashboard, this is the Worksite Dashboard, the agency is seeing their customers in this row as well as in this row because they placed the customer in worksite placement, uploaded a payroll, but then they tried to rectify it with adding them to the step, and it duplicated the customer in the worksite placements. So what we need to know by tomorrow, end of business, is on these two rows right here, do you have people that are in the wrong rows? So for example, do you have people that have payroll that are showing in the do not have at least one payroll? And do you have people that don't have payroll that are showing up that have at least one payroll entry entered? So I need that in an email to me, copy Nicole, copy Brandon, and we're going to look at seeing if it's pervasive across all of the agencies or if it's just a select few. So I need this by close of business tomorrow. And if Brandon, you wouldn't mind sending out an email to everybody. If there's no duplication and if everybody's in the right place, then I don't need the information. Because Eric just asked that. So these two rows right here on the Worksite Dashboard, you have to check those customers to see. So Eric, your issue might be something else, and we'll have to look at that separately, okay? All right, so does everybody understand what I'm talking about here? So if yes, 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 no, no, no. You have to compare your lists to see if you have people that are in one row that aren't supposed to be, or if they're in the other row and aren't supposed to be. And I need your answers by the end of business tomorrow because Illinois WorkNet offices will be closed beginning December 23rd and through, they come back to work on January 2nd. So I won't be able to fix anything in the database while they're gone. I can fix other things and take notes, but I won't be able to fix anything if it's wrong. So I need to know by close of business tomorrow. All right. And, okay. So the next piece, we covered briefly the services report last week, and I just want, or last webinar, and I just want to reiterate that because the services report will be used for the PPR coming up. So this is under the reports, so the bar graph and the customer services report. And you can check your project. After you select your project, you're probably the only agency that you can see, but I have several. And so I'm going to pick Asian Human Services, and I'm going to filter. So sorry, AHS, if there's not anything in here. But what this does is it tells you the steps that are available and how many customers you have without that step. And that doesn't mean so much as if you have what you think is 75 people that attended that successfully completed their pre-training assessment, but only 6 of them are showing up. That's what you need to use to gauge what the use of this is. Now, everybody should have the step obtain permanent employment. Oh, I'm getting feedback from somebody. Everybody should have the step obtain permanent employment. And start permanent employment as part of this program. And out of 170 people that don't have this step, we've got 34.
Okay, hold on a second.
That with the step, but then successful completion is that 3rd row of numbers. We only have 1 person, I'm sorry, 0 that successfully completed. So this is a great way for you to keep track of the services that you're adding for your customers and then making sure that they're being followed through on. All right. Do we have any questions about this report? Okay. All right, and then I also found out today we are allowing a second application for customers. If you have closed the file on a youth initially, you cannot reopen that. I was mistaken thinking that you could, so if I told you that you could, I apologize, but that's why we have the second application. And you need to be working with the new application. You can't have 2 applications open that are both active. So if there is somebody that's coming back to you and you did not close them, you can continue with that particular application set. Otherwise, they have to complete a new application, and it will filter in all of the information from the previous application that they completed. All right. Eric emailed me a few weeks ago. Once we added people using the worksite placement instead of the case plan, we cannot go in and add them again through the case plan since the placement is already in place. You can, but it duplicates the people. You can add them through the case plan, but like I said, it just duplicates
You
them.
have to take, yep, your post-assessment.
And the duplication is part of the issue that we're talking about with these 2 rows on the dashboard. Moving forward, we're trying to come up with a solution so that if you accidentally start entering somebody through the worksite placement, that it hopefully can. We don't have it all figured out. We just figured that out today, that we need to do that. So don't do it yet, Eric, because that's one of the things that we're trying to figure out, okay? Can we exit those participants from 2018? I tried and could not. Meaning somebody that was active in 2018 or PY 2018. And you can't exit them. You can't close them out. This could be something that I'll have to do offline with you privately. So, okay. Send me an email about that so that I can remember to call you. Yes, Eric, hold off adding the duplicate, or hold off adding the placement through career plan for existing customers. Anybody moving forward, the only thing that you add in the worksite placement is the employer, and then add their activities, their services through their career plan. Okay? All right. That's all I have for today, because this is add placement in the career area. All right, we can go over that when we're looking at the other piece. But basically, there are directions about how to add the steps in the career plan. There's several reasons why you want to use the career plan, and the first one is to track things properly for your performance reporting, to track things properly for the progress page, to be able to continue the follow-up for the steps, and then one of the most important reasons is so that the customer can follow along with their career plan in their profile on Illinois WorkNet. So that's the biggest reasons why we want to do that. So look for the directions on the CYEP partner page to make sure that you can follow those pieces appropriately, because there are videos as well as written directions to do all of that. Okay, any other questions? Nicole or Brandon, do you have anything that you would like to say to the group?
I don't have anything.
No, I don't have anything new.
So Brandon, will you send out an email to everybody?
Yes, about the 2 categories and
Correct.
okay.
All right, I'm going to pull the attendance back up, and I'm going to stop recording right now so that we don't have all of the shuffle along on here. Eric, go ahead. Go ahead and give your FYI.
Well, I just kind of stated in the chat, but we got the email yesterday, and I'm going to make sure everybody's aware we got to redo all the EDCFs, but we actually have to redo them dating back to July, because otherwise the workbooks the cumulative reporting and the CFR stuff isn't going to work. So when people are re-entering to resubmit their EDCFs with the new forms, I just want to make sure everybody realize that we're going to have to do this as of July 1st to go back and re-enter in. And it's a cut and paste over, but I just want to make sure people are aware because I didn't really see that clarification anywhere.
Okay. Nicole or Brandon, do you want to reply to that?
I guess that would be correct. I didn't know. I knew it was just for November that the form was incorrect, but that would make sense.
And I'm sorry. I stepped away from my desk. Exactly what was the question?
Eric was saying that you need to go in that EDCF form. You need to go back to July.
No, just correct your November.
Well, you can't, Nicole, you can't do that. You actually have to go back to July because the entire workbook is now changed and they didn't port over any of our previous EDCFs. So for all going forward, the cumulative, the budget, all those other forms that are workbook, you actually have to go back to July and put in.
Wait a minute, stop. I
Hang
can't
on.
hear. I can't hear.
I'm trying to find the offender.
Okay. I'm sorry, Eric.
Go ahead, Eric.
Yeah, no, well, and I did this yesterday. I just copied over my data from July going forward. And even though you may not need to for the November, you kind of need to do that because all the PFR reporting, all the cumulative documents, the budget
it'll be thrown off if
it's all linked. Yeah, the entire workbook is linked. So I just want to make sure people are aware that they're going to have to not just submit to November again. They're going to actually have to go back and fill out July going forward, including the first quarter PFR, even if those forms have already been approved, which is fine. It's just for the sake of that workbook, you have to fill in all that data going back to July 1st. I just want to make sure you won't even do the indirect cost calculation correctly unless you do that.
Okay, and I appreciate that information because we just found out about the mistake yesterday. Just noticed the mistake. And I had a couple of people ask me, and in my head, because I'm just trying to get them to fiscal so that we're not late with payments or things are delayed, because I've sent in some and they came back and I needed to get them back. I didn't realize that would probably be an issue unless you filled it out from July. So everybody that's on the call, because of this information we just got, everybody needs to copy over the information from July over to the new workbook that I sent out to you. And
yeah, and even though it's actually not, it doesn't take that long. It's not it's a protected workbook, but those cells will copy and paste over. You just have to be sure the other thing is just be sure you get your indirect costs copied over as well, because that's a separate line you have. It's weird when you go to copy it. You can't copy it with it, but you can type it in. So just be sure, everybody just be aware of that.
Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay, we need to send out an email, Brandon. Okay.
Yes, we need to send out an additional email clarifying that.
Yes.
So when you send that out, send out the notice about the lines on the dashboard.
Okay.
Oh, and thanks so much, Eric. I didn't know.
No, that's fine, and I appreciate you trying to get this back to us so we get paid. So, I truly appreciate that, so we can get that in.
Okay, so we'll get that out to everyone so everybody knows. Because we have a couple of people missing that's on the call. That's not on the call, should I say? And that is very important.
All right. Okay, and then there was one more question that says, for existing customers that were entered manually, would we need to then re-enter them through the career plan for them to be recorded accurately? And I answered that for Eric earlier. You do need to, moving forward, enter them only through the career plan. But based on the rows on the dashboard, if you have somebody that's not showing up properly, you need to let me know by close of business tomorrow so that I can work with that on Thursday and Friday to try to get a resolution for that. And as I said earlier, the WorkNet office will be closed December 23rd through January 1st. So I won't be able to get any data corrected during those days, but I can try to work with you on other things, except I'm taking family days on the 24th and 25th and on the 1st. So if you guys happen to be in your offices those other days, I'm happy to try and help you. Is there a way we can have name of school added to the CYEP application? That, Nicole, that's something that you guys would have to bring up with Natasha if that's an addition that you want to make. Otherwise, you can add it as a case note.
You can have name of school added to CYP. I guess that wouldn't be a problem. Okay, we'll of course touch down and ask Kristen and Carrie if that's something that we want to do. And if it's something we want to do, then we will let them know. Okay. Moving forward and update it.
All right. So I've just got a few people that I'm missing on here. So anybody from Austin People's Action Center, Madison School District, 12 Employee Connections. I don't want to miss you on the.
Yeah, Austin People's Action Center is here, Tasha.
This is Dee, sorry. I log in as Natasha, so.
Oh, no, I'm saying I'm Tasha.
Oh, hello, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, so Employee Connections Incorporated, Leadership Development Institute, Leslie Bates, SGA, St. Sabina, or
St. Sabina's here.
St. Sabina, okay, and Universal Family Connection. All right, everybody, if I don't get to talk to you before, I hope you have a wonderful Hanukkah or Christmas or Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate, or Festivus. So everybody have a great rest of your day and a wonderful week.
You
You too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.